And obviously, we lost to a good football team. I'm proud of the way our guys fought all the way to the end. Kept competing. I loved what I was hearing on the sideline from everybody on that sideline, defensive, offensive guys, special teams guys, just encouraging the guys to continue to fight all the way till the end. I think I have a lot of respect. I think Kentucky's a good football team. Certainly on our end of it, we can't lose the turnover margin. Those two big turnovers in the first half, were costly. And, when you're playing against a good football team like this, it's important to play your best football for 4 quarters and be able to string that together. So in saying that, I do feel like there was a lot of positives for our football team that we can build on. I believe in our football team. I love every guy in that locker room. We got to get back to Muncie. We got to assess a few of the injuries that we had today, see what that looks like for us. But we're going to be by each other's side through thick and thin, no matter what. We're going to continue to just get better. That's all we can do. First game action for us for this season. We're just going to keep grinding and getting better, focus on just being the best brand of Ball State that we can possibly be.
Obviously, the big talking point comes with 3 quarterbacks. When you're coming in, that they're all pretty capable. You talk about their different skill sets. Was there a specific game plan that you had in the way that you used them today, as far as Semonza playing the majority of the second half and Hatcher playing the majority of the first, with Kyle sprinkled in all of it?
Yeah, and I think to start out with, we knew Lane was going to start the football game. And then from there, certainly we know we have a package for Kyle because of his dynamic playmaking ability. He's a dynamic playmaker, but he's also a talented thrower as well. So I think the way we utilized him this year, we can continue to grow on that. I think it comes down to at halftime. Just felt like the decision to put Caden out there. He's earned it. He's earned it with his play during spring practice. He's earned it through his play during fall camp. So felt very confident. I wouldn't put him out there if I didn't feel confident that he could execute the game plan at a high level. So I really thought he did a lot of good things there. To be thrown in to the situation he is. I thought he handled himself quite well, very poised, and did a good job of distributing the ball and getting the ball in the hands of our playmakers.
I know it's a week away from Georgia, but given how well he played today, what's the QB1 situation looking like next week?
Yeah, I wish I could sit here and tell you that right now, but I want to get back and watch the entirety of the film. I'll watch it on the bus on the way back today, watch it again tomorrow. We'll meet with the team. We'll assess it. The good thing is we don't have to make that decision anytime soon. So we'll, players will have their off day Monday. We'll grind and attack the game plan, and we'll kind of see where we land at that point.
I guess just another question as far as using the quarterbacks. Semonza had a few really nice drives. One ended in a touchdown, one didn't. And the one that didn't, Kelly came in and seemed to kind of dominate most of the snaps under center in the red zone. What was the rationale for that?
Well, you gain really an extra runner when you put Kyle with his skill set in, and then you can gain an extra blocker. You gain an extra blocker and you kind of even up the odds, if you will. And we just feel like this football team, when you watch the red zone tape from last year, they are super stingy inside the 5, inside the 10. They got some great size in the interior. That goes without saying. So we felt like for us, being able to even up the odds a little bit, gain an extra hat as a blocker, and utilize Kyle's skill set was good. Felt great about the play that we had called when we had the false start penalty there, and we had to move ourselves back 5 yards. Really felt good about that play there, and felt like we had a chance to get that one in the end zone. So we'll just keep working. He's a weapon, and we're going to keep expanding his skill set. And you forgot to mention the 4th guy that took a snap at center today, which is Maximus Webster.
Yeah, obviously not fun to talk about, but I was told on the TV broadcast you were in tears when asked about Clayton Cole. Can you speak on his status and or what he means to this program?
Not right now. We'll get back to Muncie. We'll assess it. Clayton Cole has meant everything to our program. You think about a young man that just does things the right way on the field, off the field. Top 25 student out of 20,000. You talk about handling business and being a champion in everything you do in life. It stinks to see that young man be taken off the field like that. I'm going to pray and be positive and be hopeful that the news is awesome when we get to Monday. He gets an opportunity to get in to see the doctor. But he's meant everything, and couldn't ask a young man to give and to do anything more than what he's done for Ball State and for our program.
A lot of film, obviously, last season. Kentucky's main return guy took one back in the opener. He did it again today. Just what went into schematically game planning for kickoffs? And I know you haven't had a chance to watch the film, but what did you see on that?
We worked tirelessly. And obviously, when you have that kind of speed, 10-4, that's pretty electric. And obviously, you got returns on film from a year ago, where he's put him in the end zone. So we knew it was a challenge. Obviously, we believe in our coverage units. That's been a strong suit for our special teams over many years. We believe in our coverage units. And so we'll just have to look at the tape and see exactly what happened there. It'd be unfair for me to say this guy perhaps got out of his lane or anything like that. I want to be able to look at the tape here and be able to see exactly what happened.
You referenced the speed a second ago, but just when you know that whoever you're kicking it to is going to have that kind of potential, how much extra work does that create for you guys as coaches, game planning specifically for that scenario?
And one of the reasons we went out this offseason and we pursued a guy like Jack Drake is because of what you saw in the opening kickoff when he buried it in the end zone. And he's got a tremendous number of touchbacks a year ago when he was at DePaul University. That was something we felt strongly about trying to improve in our kicking game. And so we felt good about that. Jack has done that consistently in practice throughout training camp. So we're going to continue to work on that. We still believe in our cover units as well. And it's always been one of our strong suits. So we'll look at it, but you got to give them credit. Obviously, they took a return to the house and they did a good job of blocking it up and getting that done.
Again, obviously not after you haven't watched the film yet, but just assessing you guys' pass defense going up against a quarterback like Devin Leary. What do you like? What didn't you like about what your team did on the field?
Well, obviously we want to make them earn it. There's a couple penalties there that we need to get cleaned up on our end of it. Trust yourself, no need to get handsy, believe in yourself, believe in your cover ability, believe in your transition skills. So we'll look at all that. But again, I give them credit. They executed and they came out and when they needed to make some plays and Devin needed to make a couple throws, you got to give them credit for that.
Need to take a couple questions from the Muncie Star Press on our Zoom and then we'll open for players.
Yeah, hey coach. Couple of things real quick. So I know you said, the things that you thought about Semonza that would work well today when putting him in at halftime. But what, I guess, weren't you seeing from the offense in the first half that made you want to consider a switch?
I think more than anything, there was a couple throws that I thought that were there where the ball perhaps was a little bit high. And so felt like, from a scheme standpoint, from a play standpoint, we had a couple opportunities. So just the confidence, that Caden has, put out there on the practice field. And again, I keep referencing it, but he's earned the snaps and the increase in snaps that he got throughout the course of training camp. So really going into this game, even at some point in time, middle of last week, I would have said I personally was probably about 50-50 on who would start the game. So I don't think it's a matter of anything that Lane was specifically doing wrong. Just felt like through the reps that young man has earned and what he's done on the field, felt that at halftime, that was a decision I wanted to make there.
For sure. One thing that really stood out to me about him was, just his poise and some of the pressure throws. Is that something that you feel like is unique for him being so young?
Yeah, and I think if you ask any one of his teammates here, whether it's an offensive player or a defensive player, those were some of the things that showed up on the practice field. You saw some big throws in critical situations in training camp, whether we were practicing on third down or whether we were practicing in the red zone. That throw that he made to Ty Robinson down the sideline, he gave him a hand signal and he converted that throw to a fade ball. So you got to give a guy that's a true freshman credit for having the guts to make that kind of call. And then after he makes that call, he delivers on it. So you got to give him credit for that. But those are the things that you keep seeing in practice and that we, felt so confidently about, going into the game and which quarterback would end up taking the field for us.
For sure. I know Brady Hunt and Tavion Wood were, I guess, day-to-day coming into this game, and they obviously didn't play. Any reason why, and could they come maybe next week?
Yeah, didn't feel like they were where they needed to be in order to take the field for us, especially given the limited number of reps they've taken over the last couple of weeks during team periods. Tavion started to do more here recently, so he went through the full pregame warm-up there, but just with where we were at with him, didn't feel like didn't feel confident putting him out there in a team situation. And Brady, unfortunately, just wasn't ready to go. So we'll just keep attacking it, day to day there with those guys and hope that we can get them back. Both of them, hope we can get them back this week.
For sure. And then last thing, like you said, I was really sorry to see Clayton go down as well, and I'm wishing the best for him. But Tanner Koziol took that big hit early and missed the latter part of the first half, and then Vaughn got his knee bent back. It looked like late in that first half. I know Koziol came back in, but was he evaluated for a concussion, and what's Vaughn's status?
Yeah, and so our training staff did a phenomenal job, first and foremost, and they just kept communicating with me as the half was winding down to let me know that, they were going to assess him at halftime, and we would just see whether or not he'd be ready to go in the second half. So when they told me in the locker room at halftime that he was good to go, then, obviously we put him back in there. So, and we'll just have to see with Vaughn. Again, we'll have to get back to Muncie, wait on doctor appointment here, and just kind of assess where he's at as we start to prepare for this week.
Really don't know. I mean, the thing that stood out the most to me today was the fact that this was your first ever collegiate action, yet you showed so much poise in tough moments. How are you able to get to that mindset?
Just preparation throughout the week, just doing whatever I can to, help the team out, sitting behind, getting the reps from behind, just locking it mentally, watching film, watching tape, and just, taking a deep breath and just playing football, having fun.
This might be a kind of a weird question for you to answer, but were you expecting to play as much as you did today?
I wouldn't say it was an expectation one way or another. I mean, I was going to be ready to play regardless, because you're always one play away, whether you're going to be guaranteed to play or not. I was going to be ready to play regardless. If I didn't, that is what it is. And if I did, I was going to be ready.
Coach talked about your ability to change plays on the fly. He talked about a specific fade route to Robinson that you kind of called an audible for during the play. To do that as a true freshman is impressive, especially against an SEC opponent. I mean, how can you be, how do you get to a point where you're that confident in your abilities and trust your teammates that much as well?
All right. It's like you said, it's just trusting my guys. I got full confidence that our guys are going to go make the play for me. We've been working so hard because I got here in the winter. I graduated early. So we've been working from winter to the spring to the summer until now. We've had a lot of time on task to do that stuff. So it was it was routine. We practiced all that kind of stuff all the time. So when I got out there and saw a specific look, I knew he was going to give me this and we're going to go make a play.
And this is kind of a simple question, but how did you feel when you first took that first collegiate snap, especially against an opponent like this?
I mean, it was surreal for sure. I've been praying and dreaming about stuff like this since I can remember. I've been playing football since I was 4 years old. So, I took a deep breath and I just thank God for putting me in the position I was out there. That's it.
Yeah, and obviously there's two other guys not only competing for a QB1 spot, but all three quarterbacks saw time today. What's that dynamic like? It's one thing to have that in practice, but in a game scenario where all three guys are playing, what was that dynamic like between you guys?
All three of us, we have full support for each other. It's when Kyle's in, we're all, I would have been the first one on the field celebrating with him. When Lane throws a touchdown, I'm happy for him. It's a brotherly thing. We all have the same common goal, and that's to win football games. And, unfortunately, we couldn't do that today. And, it is what it is. We're going to get back next week, regroup, and get ready for next week.
You got one more, Kyle, before we go to Gus.
Yeah, just have one more. Overall, I mean, despite the loss, the offense looked pretty good at points. What were some positives and what are some things you guys need to improve on for next week?
We had some explosive plays, which I think was good. I think our tempo's got to be better when we play teams like that, especially. We want to keep them in their base looks and get rolling and get our plays fast and get moving. So I think we can for sure improve and improve in our tempo. But I mean, I'm proud of our guys. I know the outcome wasn't what we wanted, but we fought till the last whistle in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Gus Martin, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Hey, Caden. First of all, man, one thing that really stood out to me throughout training camp practices and obviously today, like for such a young guy, you have a lot of poise even when under pressure, man. Where does that kind of come from, being such a young player?
I've been playing football for a long time. I haven't had much experience at the college level, of course, being my first game, but it just comes in trusting my ability when I get out there, trusting my preparation, trusting what I've seen on film and just going out there relaxed and playing football like I've always done it.
For sure. And with the success you had today and, earning first team reps and, coach even said it was 50-50 between you and Lane to start. Do you feel like you've earned the starting job?
I think I've done a pretty good job for the situation I'm in, with the opportunities I'm given. Sorry, I'm going to do the best I can regardless, whether it be first team, second team, third team, hell, if it's fourth team, I'm going to, whatever opportunity that they give me, I'm going to do my best in it.
For sure. And then last thing, I know you're new to the program, but obviously everyone was emotional to see Clayton go down, myself included. Just, even in your short time here, what have you seen from him and how much does he mean to the team?
I mean, he's the voice of the team. It was rough seeing him go down and stay down for that long. It was kind of like a shot in the heart. I mean, that guy, he's such a leader. He does everything right. I haven't seen. I mean, he's always there for the guys, no matter what. So to see a guy like him go down, it's emotional for sure. Seeing all the hard work he's put in, even to getting back to where he was today. It's rough seeing him go down like that.
Might be kind of a simple question, but obviously took a pretty big hit there in the second quarter. How are you feeling right now?
Good. Yeah, I think it was more of a shock than anything, but I'm good. Feel great.
I know you said it was a shock, but can you kind of walk me through where your headspace was at that moment when you got hit?
Got to keep the ball in my hands. Can't let that go out. That's something that we teach every day. We rep it every day. Ball security, and I just got to hold on to that ball.
A lot of people talk about the physicality of SEC football, specifically defense. Seems like you kind of got a taste of that firsthand. Is there a difference?
Everyone plays hard at the end of the day. We just got to play harder than the people across from us, no matter who it is. And if we play our hardest, that's what we can control.
Obviously, everybody talks about kind of you and Brady Hunt being the anchors coming into the season of Ball State's offense. Brady didn't play today and kind of saw you step into an increased role. What was your approach to that?
Just play for Brady. He's my brother. I know it kills him not being out there. Kills me not being out there with him. Every snap I've played of college football has been with Brady, almost every single snap, every game I have, every hotel I've roomed with him. And it was weird being in the hotel room knowing he's not going to be out there with me. Like someone that you go to work with every day. He's not going to be there. So it was different, but Coach Elliott helped me embrace the role. We made sure we had a good game plan and understood the game plan and get every possible look, focused hard on walkthroughs, and just really embrace the role.
Obviously 3 different quarterbacks got in today. You looked good throughout the game, and specifically, it looked like you had a lot of chemistry with Semonza, who played the majority of the second half. How have you and Semonza worked on developing chemistry together?
We golfed a ton this summer. Almost every day we worked out, film room, golf, film room. He was in my cart golfing almost every day, and I got really close with him. He's like a brother to me, like a little brother. He's awesome. Like he's been awesome in the locker room. He picks up the energy, and it's really fun to rally around that kid.
Yeah, might be a weird question, but where do you guys go?
Players Club.
Players Club.
Yeah.
You said that he kind of picks up the energy in the locker room. For a guy that is a true freshman, is that kind of impressive? I mean, that doesn't seem
100%.
Doesn't seem normal.
100%. I've never met someone like so strongly from California, but he has I get a good idea of what the people are like in California if they're all like Kadin Semonza. He just came in right away, embraced the role, and there was like no knocking rust off or anything or like new to college football. He came in with so much confidence, and it's not like cocky confidence. He just loves the game like genuinely so much, and it's so fun to see him out there.
Yeah. And with all 3 quarterbacks getting playing time and you seemingly having chemistry with all of them, it kind of seems like the way that all the quarterbacks are used, there's a lot of potential for explosivity, and you saw that at points today in the offense. Can you kind of speak on the dynamics of this offense?
I mean, we got a little bit of everything in the quarterback room. Kyle Kelly's legs, he's a runner. He's elite, and he could pass the ball. He could stretch the field. Saw that today. And Lane Hatcher is a vet. He knows the game inside and out. He was in the film room more than maybe anyone in America this summer and this fall camp. He's going to be great, whether he's on the field or off the field. Lane Hatcher helps the team an immense amount just with his knowledge. And him and Smalls actually live together, so it's perfect because like he could coach him up as much as possible. A kid just starting football and a kid on his 6th year. Yeah. So that chemistry they all counteract each other perfectly.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Hang tight here. Gus Martin, if you've got anything for Tanner.
Yeah. Hey man, first of all, glad to see you're okay after taking that big hit. I don't know if you've seen the replay yet, but did you think that was a legal hit?
I didn't see the replay yet.
Okay.
But yeah, football. That's what he signed up for.
For sure. And obviously Caden getting the start in the second half was, I guess, a little bit unexpected to people outside the locker room. Just what was your and the teammates' reaction, when that change was made?
It was like, let's go. Like we had a cut. I remember one practice specifically, Kadin Semonza went on a hot streak of like 7 plays, just bombed a post, bombed like 4 plays in a row. And everyone was just excited. Everyone was looking at like, look at this kid. Like we knew he could do it. We saw his film from high school. And then to see him come out and put it into college that fast, it was just like it was like a bow and arrow being held all the way back. We were just waiting to see if he could still do it. And he showed that he could.
Nice analogy. And then last thing, I mean, we know Hatcher's a vet, like you said, he knows the game for sure. I've seen his leadership capabilities in practice, Kelly's legs, but I think it's undeniable at this point what Caden's able to do, just pushing the ball downfield. Do you feel like he's earned the chance to be a full-time starter?
I think everyone's been working hard enough. Like all of them have put so much time into this game. Lane Hatcher's been great. He's been like the most reliable guy we've had all season and in fall camp and in spring ball. And Simons is just, it's a tough situation to be in for Lane because like it's all to the coaches at the end of the day and they're going to make the right decision. But either way, both of them are going to help us an immense amount on and off the field. Like Lane's mind is just so helpful.